And we are live.
And we are VWP, Violent Wrestling Podcast. As always, I'm Mox. With me, as always, best friends in the world, Ambrose Alley.
Hello, everybody. Thought I was going to say nurse, didn't you? But I fooled you.
You got us. And Mr. Look, who showed up on time, so I don't have to say he'll be here later, Metal Matt.
Hello, everyone.
And as always, just the nicest guy you'll ever meet, just a fantastic, just knowledgeable, just smart individual, Mr. Adam Rice.
20 will be in the mail, sir.
um, Instead of asking how's everybody's week been and stuff like that, let's just cut to the chase. Due to some extenuating circumstances, we're not going to be on next week. We're up in the air if we're going to do two shows this week at all or not. But right now, um, you won't hear from us again
Anna
until
Kendrick.
sir, 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 sir. As it stands right now, if you don't hear from us tomorrow, you definitely won't hear from us next week. It will might be 2 weeks from now before you hear from us.
And so, with that said, let's get to the biggest news of the last few hours. Well, I shouldn't say few hours, of the last 72 hours since Double or Nothing this
That
past Saturday.
Brock's actually entertaining again.
Brock's entertaining again. That's actually a good thing. And another good thing is, although we could have foreseen it from his first video that he released under his new old name, John Moxley, um, at
Yes.
the at
Oh,
the
wrong
end,
box. Wrong box.
not you, the other guy, the talented one.
You son of a bitch. He's a
uh,
name stealer.
yeah. Um, at the
The,
end of
the
the
one people
Double or
actually
Nothing,
like.
right? Well, I didn't want to go too far. Um, at the end of the AEW's first show, Double or Nothing from Las Vegas, post the main event. I know we're skipping right to that, but we will talk about things from the show that we liked, disliked, and those kind of things. We wanted to come to this point because it is the biggest news
It's not
of
just
the.
the biggest news of the weekend. It's the genesis for how Violent Wrestling Podcast began when it was just AA and myself. I'm
Uh,
Mox.
Somebody
Hello.
wants to
She's
Genesis
Ambrose
Nick Mel
Alley.
Cuddy.
Like he's what got this ball rolling. So
but
it's big news for VWP
post
overall.
main event,
Sorry.
John Moxley showed up at his first show post leaving WWE, hit the ring, attacked both Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, and made his presence felt at Double or Nothing. And within a few minutes after the end of the show, they announced that John Moxley has indeed signed a multi-year deal with All Elite Wrestling. He'll be able to work some shows in the meantime for other independent promotions. But when the TV hits in October, John Moxley will be an official member of AEW. Before we get to the second part of John Moxley's big news from this weekend, let's deal with this first part. Guys, he hinted at it and he delivered. John Moxley is all elite. Your reaction?
The roof blew off the fucking arena. And that crowd exploded just like we did here in the Mox house. Holy crap. I guess going back a few months now with when the it came out that he was leaving, I need to talk to some of my sources. Um, Actually, this was not source. This was just my feelings of him taking time off, and um, apparently that's not true.
No, he. I don't want to say he worked everybody, but he kind of did. Um,
Ah,
it wasn't.
what?
He didn't lie. I mean, he would, but he definitely made it seem like he was going to disappear for a little bit, and he disappeared for about 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't think when that initial report came out, and with me with what I was saying, of him taking time off and or maybe just going away. Period. Um, I don't think he anticipated WWE doing what they did in the months after of actually showcasing him and giving him, the Shield's last match and promoting it the way they did. Of, am I making sense?
I think with
Like
yes that
I'm leaving.
you
I'm leaving the company. Okay, they're going to keep me off TV, so technically I'm going to be gone for a little bit, and then I'll show back up when and where the hell I want. I don't think he anticipated them making not only a storyline out of it, but actually putting as much of it on TV as they did.
yeah they basically gave him the red carpet kind of on the way out the door.
Yeah, and I don't think he thought that's how that was going to end up.
Now we have to go
Well, with
to.
AA and
I
Matt,
know that's where I was
there's two
going.
of us.
I know. We have to first go to the biggest John Moxley mark on the show, and that is Miss Amber's Alley. Alley, I got 2 questions for you.
I
Shoot.
got 2 words for you.
No, sir. See,
Bang.
2 words. Um, the first one is probably pretty obvious, but on a scale of 1 to 10, your excitement to see John Moxley in a televised professional wrestling promotion. And secondly, will this make you want to tune in to
Jesus.
AEW when it hits television?
The first answer to your first one, it's off the charts. Just because I'm glad he's back, and he's and hopefully he's back with a character that he's happy with.
Well, judging by Double or Nothing, and they already said that their weekly shows are going to be TV 14, and
Mm.
judging by a couple matches actually on Double or Nothing, um, we might see some old CCW old school Dean shit show up, which I'm here for.
And as to the second one, yes, that will make me tune in to give AEW a chance, and I will give them a chance and see how they work storylines and stuff.
And now to our other esteemed colleague, Metal Matt. Matt,
Esteemed.
I try to be nice. Um, your
He's gonna cut
reaction
a
to,
promo. He's gonna cut a promo. He's gonna
I
cut a
know he
promo.
is. I know he is. Your reaction to seeing John Moxley officially end up with AEW, and will this make you want to? Same question as Allie. Will this make you want to tune in and give them a look?
Well, the answer to the first question, honestly, disappointing, and I'll tell you why. Because he signed with the wrong friggin' promotion. Damn it. Now,
You want
You wanted him in
you want
MLW.
Moxley, there was a promotion. All right, a promotion that ended in W, but it wasn't AEW. It's MLW. That's where you should have gone.
I thought you were going to say AJPW.
Sorry.
I mean, and as far as to answer the second question, to be honest, Moxley kind of makes me want to, but just Double or Nothing just kind of just the whole weekend it just kind of turned me off of the whole promotion in general, mainly because of the just Cody's actions throughout the weekend, from bashing Bailey for no reason to all the WWE shots to them saying, "Oh, we're not competing with WWE." Oh, there weren't shots at WWE. Who are you kidding? Yeah, it was. Stop lying to us. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. If you want to compete with WWE, just admit you want to compete with WWE. There's no shame in that. Be ambitious. Instead, you gotta play.
Be ambitious.
You gotta
Be,
dance around, like you're freaking Fandango or something like that. Like you're John Travolta on Saturday Night Fever or Grease or anything like that. I understand that Grease is the word, but the word here, what you're spreading, it ain't good. It ain't good at all. It's a bad joke.
Are you proud of those references?
Indeed, I am.
Because
I
they
think the Bailey, what Matt's referring to there is a comment in the presser on Starcast of talking about Bea Priestley basically doesn't have inflatable two men, and doesn't walk around pretending to be nice. And I
And
think
that was really the problem with that. And I know that got under Dan Bauer's skin quite a bit, and I totally understand it.
I don't. I think that's been blown out of proportion. To be honest with you,
It kind of has, but at the same time, when you say stuff like that, how can it not?
well, true. It got a lot of attention, and as you haven't run your first show yet, it got them a lot of attention. It got a lot of people talking.
but is it attention they should want?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I
Because
think
when you
it's
do stuff
unintended
like
intention.
what they've been doing, it just makes you come across as TNA 2.0. It makes you come across as Voodoo Ken Mafia. I'm half expecting Cody Rhodes at the next AEW pay per view saying, "And we got your attention, didn't we, Paul Levesque? Wednesday at the Alamo, high noon. Vincent McMahon."
Yeah. And
Some of the other stuff I can agree on, but that one quote, I think, is
that
being
one quote was the
too.
most benign of the stuff.
Yeah, it's being made too much more out of than what it was.
But I will say he shouldn't have said it.
Excuse me.
He shouldn't have said it because he could have made a joke about anyone else on the roster, and I think that
Eh,
quote would have
yeah,
gone away
okay. Let's
quickly.
let's let's take that quote and let's take out the two men part of the quote where you know specifically he's talking about Bailey
And remember, the quote was he was comparing Kylie Ray and
or
Bailey.
Kylie Ray. I said Bea Priestley for
Yes,
some
you
reason
did.
because that news came out, but he was referring to a question was prompted to him of Kylie Ray, and that was his response of Kylie Ray, doesn't have the inflatable two men and isn't pretending to be a nice person. Take
And
out the inflatable two men because the Kylie Ray Bailey comparisons have been there. You take out the two men, is it still so inflammatory to some?
I think saying someone is pretending to be nice is inflammatory, no matter who the person is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh,
You do, you don't say that unless you're wanting to give somebody a little elbow in the ribs.
and I mean, I just, I don't know if I'm too thick skinned or too, I don't know what it is where, or too accustomed to it maybe where I just, it's not the first time somebody else has called somebody else in wrestling, pretending to be a nice person.
Yes, that is correct. And like I said, that is the most benign of the stuff that happened this
Yeah.
weekend. And we'll kind of walk our way through this, but I do want to get into the other piece of. But before we do, I want to get into the other piece of news John Moxley made over the course of the weekend that
Why?
kind of
Why,
that
fuck
kind
knuckle?
of blew up the
Why?
internet.
Why?
Late Sunday night, I believe it was, John Moxley posted another video and added added on Twitter, New Japan. And in the video, it was revealed that on June 5th of this year, next Wednesday, John Moxley will be challenging Juice Robinson. And then later on, in an official press release, it was announced that on June 5th, in Sumo Hall, John Moxley will face Juice Robinson for the IWGP United States Championship.
You guys couldn't wait a little bit. A, why put him up against fuck knuckle? For those that don't know, fuck knuckle's Juice Robinson. Uh, B,
I like Juice. Mox
uh,
doesn't.
he's not the worst thing in the world, but fuck knuckles starting to turn into more of a term of endearment. But could you guys not wait a little bit and have Dean show up in Dallas, the show I'm going to be at,
Who
please?
says he's not going to show up in Dallas?
I know, but that would have been just
That would have been cool.
yeah,
So now we have to react. Dean's first major match post WWE is for New Japan against Juice Robinson in a title match. Access TV has announced that on a 2-day delay, they will be showing the John Moxley Juice Robinson match.
yeah. But they're going to put it on their regular Friday show. It happens on a Wednesday. They're going to put it on the regular Friday show.
So for those with DVR,
Or you
record it
know,
if you want to watch it. If you
watch it
don't,
live.
watch it live. Do what
It,
you,
it comes
because
on
this is a big
8
deal.
Eastern, 7. What the hell are you doing? It's not like a regular New Japan schedule.
Right, but I'm saying if you're away from home or something, if you want to record it because this is, big time. So, your guys' reaction to Moxley versus Robinson, Moxley's first big match.
See, now Ambrose in NJPW, that's more like it. That's more like it. That's where he needs to be, not that glorified T-shirt company.
Oh god.
Boy, those AEW marks got really angry about the T-shirt company stuff.
They I'm here for it, of course. As our friends are that listen, and as you guys know, like New Japan is probably my favorite promotion. Um, out of New Japan and MLW are real close. Um, but New Japan, I watch a lot of. Um, wish it would be. It's a big match. It's the IWGP United States title. Um, I just,
You wish it wasn't Robinson.
and not just that. It's cool. Like it works. Um, good on Jonathan Good. Coming out of WWE with so much pull that and so much cred that he could do this kind of stuff.
He's also taken a booking up with New. I know the name of the promotion is New,
Yeah,
NEW. I
yeah,
think that's Northeast Wrestling.
yes, sir.
They're
Uh, there's
super.
a there's a couple of them he's already been booked for, and they're all AEW talent
Except for this one.
except
The,
for Juice.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody else he's wrestling on the Indies is are also AEW talent.
Yeah, he's doing a spot for NEW against Pentagon, and he's going to be at that Fighter Fest
Yes.
wrestling Joey Janela. And Janela
Uh,
isn't a is Janela AEW contracted?
yeah, the he's AEW and see that's where we're gonna have to start. So many people have their contracts are so weird. Like Joey Janela is under contract, but can also work like his spring breaks and
And he's
uh,
already announced Spring Break 4, by the way.
yeah, and not WXW. What promotion am I thinking of? But he can also freelance a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just to completely go sidetrack, if AEW is going to allow this, um, that might be a culture change in the WWE realm, if that makes sense. WWE is doing it, has been doing it a little bit with WWE affiliates like Progress and stuff like that.
Well, the thing with WWE has done, they're sending NXT talent every once in a while to evolve, and they did it
Evolve,
with Progress.
yeah. I mean, there was
And
a
the
time when Pete Dunne was holding the UK and the Progress Championship at the same
yes, there
time.
was, and the UK talent all seem to have really nice deals that lets them work on occasion
They did.
outside of the company
They did
because
until who was it that got injured and they put a stop to a lot of that. Started
well,
doing a lot more
who
and
just came back from Japan?
well, apparently I'm flying there to get there by
Not
June.
you,
Oh,
not you. Tony Storm.
oh yeah. I mean, she
Tony
just worked
Storm just
Stardom.
worked Stardom.
Yeah,
So the UK talent have a different deal. Walter has a different deal because he runs WXW in
yeah.
Germany. Um, so WWE might get a little more comfortable with these things. I don't think it will happen with the main roster talent.
It's
Um,
just
and
but you
like
there's
we
two.
learned,
Go ahead.
this week, it looked like they had a little quid pro quo with the promotion running the charity event for uh, head shrinker Samu, um, Lance Anoa'i's father,
Yeah,
because Lance Anoa'i showed up on Raw, and he is not a contracted talent.
right.
Wild card rope, Al.
Well, that's
Yeah,
taking it to the extreme.
so we're seeing WWE being open to different things.
There's the other side to that coin, um, which happened in the NXT UK already. And oh, you never want anybody to get injured or anything, but say
Right.
AEW is going to allow you're on AEW, but you can do injuries.
Injuries is going to be the thing that dictates the rest of this.
If they go do something else, during a mid storyline leading up to a pay per view or missing weekly TV because they went to work this other show, um, that's been the hindrance and a lot of
Things.
contract sign. Yeah,
Yep.
of go. That's why, like even in professional sports like football, basketball, they're limited to what they can do outside of
hmm That's why they.
play.
That's why football players, when they sign a contract, there's a list
What
of
are you
50
doing?
things they can't do. What am I doing?
I don't know. I
What?
was talking to the dog.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
so
hey, what do you think about the more open contracts of them being able to? And when I say them, it started with AEW, but about in general of wrestlers being able to go other places and have more freedom in what they want to do and where they want to go. You think that's
I
a good thing? You think?
It's a good thing.
I mean, these guys are technically still supposed to be
And
independent contractors.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's a good thing because then they can get they can get fresh matches and
this was
not be
yeah,
wrestling the same guy 20 times a week.
exactly. This was a point I was trying to bring up to a name that was mentioned earlier yesterday about the women's wrestling in AEW of where he was, you got to have more than a few people, and you can't have in and outers. Like, actually, yeah, you can, and it'd work great because you're not going to see the same matchups on repeats. And because how long have people been clamoring for WWE to do either an off season or to cycle their talent?
Hmm.
Like, that's been a conversation that's been had a million times, if not more. Okay, you have these people that can come, where you're working with other promotions. This talent comes in, works a show or two. They don't have to be full time contracted to AEW. And with AEW now running monthly pay per views, you can even have feuds with people that aren't there on weekly TV, i.e., NXT doesn't have the same talent every week. But you can still progress the feuds. I think it's fantastic. I can again that other side of the coin though. Somebody go,
And we'll see. And sorry to cut you off. We'll see how long this lasts when AEW TV starts,
yeah,
because that'll be the true indicator. But for right now, I think it's fine that they're letting the people they're bringing in go work because they really don't have anywhere to work with AEW.
right.
So this is
And,
good.
and you don't want your people just sitting around for 5 months or however we off are until the debut of AEW television with ring rust and things like that.
Right.
But say for instance, and I don't mean to be so pessimistic or to keep bringing it up. Say for instance, John Moxley goes to a New Japan or to an NEW and gets hurt, and he's going to be out for a year. That's that's where the problem is going to lie. That's where the problem has lied for quite some time.
Yeah, and you brought up the women's roster for AEW. They made another signing, Sadie Gibbs,
Yes.
who that's a
Good
great
on
signing.
you, Sadie. Good on you. Fuck you, Will Osprey. You piece of shit.
Yeah, that shit wasn't necessarily what he did. We don't need to go into what he did, but you don't air that shit out in public.
Nope.
So good on
Good on.
Sadie Gibbs to get this contract. She is young, but she is getting better every time she goes out there. She is a star in the making, mark my words.
Absolutely. I can see that. She's very young. She's very ambitious. You can tell she's willing to learn because it seems like every match she's learned from the previous match I've seen her in.
Um,
So good on you, Sadie Gibbs.
but let's get to Double or Nothing itself. Because there are some
Any
things
other
around.
thoughts before we get to the actual card? Matt, AA, about Moxley, about contracts, about any
Anything.
thoughts in general before we start getting to cards and AA? Got any?
Nope.
'Cause technically, as
Mm,
it stands now, like John Moxley could show up at Rocky Mountain Pro.
this is technically true. And he's still open to show up in MLW, Matt. And I don't necessarily think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Neither do I.
Confirm that.
As long as his boy Sammy's still working. Because let's not forget those guys are buddies.
Oh yeah, well, there used to be a
So
tag team.
Yeah, Sammy Callahan did appear in the closing moments of this past Friday's MLW show, or this past Saturday's MLW show, rather.
And I missed that. That was my fault. Um,
I caught it.
Good.
I
First
think
time in a
Rice
couple
and I
weeks.
were too busy talking.
Yeah, probably. Um, so what coming
AA,
into
or did AA already answer closing
yes,
thoughts on?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Coming into Double or Nothing, there were some bumpy roads, with some
the Hangman
comments.
Page. Well, okay, I was gonna
Yeah,
go ahead and
Hangman Page.
and
Pac pulling out for what ended up being visa issues. Hangman Page, we thought was going to be out injured. I'll get to that in a minute. The
good.
night before, during a promo package, um, Brandy Rhodes, the
COO.
CBO, the COO, Chief Brand, I think she's Chief Brand Officer
Yeah,
because
she had
her
same time.
nickname's
I was making a joke.
yeah, yeah. Her nickname's Chief Brandy Officer, CBO.
Yeah,
She technically has the same position as Stephanie
as
McMahon,
Steph. Yeah,
which I don't think that's an accident. Um, in a promo package leading into the event, Brandy Rhodes said, "If you do not enjoy Double or Nothing, you're not a real wrestling fan."
yeah. Oh God. Now you want to talk about inflammatory?
Of
There's a
course, you
huge
would say
red
so.
flag. So they were coming into this event already. They're already ruffling some feathers, and not with the
My
people who they
word.
want to ruffle feathers with. They're pissing off fans.
Right.
Yeah.
That wasn't with that wasn't a shot at WWE at all. That was a shot at us, we the fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's inflammatory. That's you don't tell anybody else they're not a real fan or a true fan because they happen to like this over this or that over that. Just you don't. In any genre of anything, wrestling, music, you're not a real heavy metal fan if you like such and such, or you're not a real um, such and such fan because you like this movie and it sucks so bad, or this direct. You don't tell other people how to be a fan and what to like and what not to like.
Come on, bro. Do you even listen to Amon Amart?
Damn it. Damn it. Set myself up.
So I have the card up so that we can go through things. But um, look, be if you're going to want to come out and fight, fight. I don't care. I've been through a wrestling war. Mox, you've been through a wrestling war. Matt,
Yeah.
Allie, you've seen it, and Matt, you were just about at that age where you saw it, but it's iffy because
Uh,
you're young.
well, yeah, he's gone back at least because I surround myself by people that are good people. Matt's way too young to actually. He wasn't born during the Monday Night Wars, but he's gone back and he's seen it, researched it, knows
Technically, I
enough
was
about it.
born before they started, but I was born like a couple months before the Monday Night Wars started. But
But I've seen, I remember the wrestling wars. Mox, you remember them. Allie, you remember them. Hell, Mox and Allie are both old enough to technically have seen a
I
couple
remember the
wrestling wars.
territory. Yeah, I remember some territory wars.
If you were born in Georgia, you saw some territory wars. If you're from Memphis, you saw Memphis wrestling basically splinter and reform itself.
would you say
She
that
could,
would mark his territory?
Oh God,
oh God, I'm
how's
so
your
sorry.
territory doing? We had the same thing happen in Texas over a few different promotions, and shit got again. I'm not that damn old, whereas old enough at the time to know what was going on. Just um, I knew something was going on, and then reading back, like the actual, but pull the curtain back, and this is what was truly happening. But yeah, there was some shit going on in Texas too.
So But one the thing none of those people ever did was talk to the fans in any way less than please come watch our show.
Yeah,
When you say you're not a real wrestling fan if you don't like our product, that makes you an entitled elitist asshole, and that's all that'll ever make you.
yeah.
So don't do it. But
Well,
that
elitist.
aside,
Are you saying she was
yep,
being the elite?
yep, yep, I was. I was making doing
I
that on
be
purpose.
be mad to it because it was so
Um,
blatantly obvious.
so the show itself was
Hey,
started.
hey, hey, you're. I already know your take, but just to weigh in, like, let fans be fans of what they're a fan of.
Well, I think it should be. I mean, it would be really boring in this whole world if everyone was a fan of the same thing.
Right. Like you and I, being CCW fans several years ago, um, got caught up in some drama of CCW wasn't really wrestling. It's just blood, and you can't have this and that, and you're wrestling. Like, yeah, you can, and some people can like it. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that. It
Yeah,
CZW is an acquired taste.
right. But don't tell
I
me I'm
remember
not a true.
CZW versus Ring of Honor, which was a
Yeah,
I like the
there was
early Ring of Honor.
whether it's two companies working together and they're like in that situation, or two entities going at it like WWE and WCW did in the day. Um, I don't mind if you're gonna. There's two ways to handle yourself in these situations. Either don't mention each other and put on your show, or if you're going to mention each other, do it and don't shy away from it. Don't don't fire the first shot and then stand there with your dick in your hand when the
I was
consequences.
gonna make a balls reference myself, but yeah,
So, and we'll get to why I'm making this speech kind of later, but it but when you come for the fans, that makes you the heel. No one looks good if you're coming for people who you want to watch your show.
and not in
Because
a good hill way, like
no,
at all.
no. Um, so the show opened up. They actually had their pre-show on YouTube, like WWE does.
Their pre-show
Uh,
was actually on TNT too.
yeah. There was a
We had
21,
wrestling again for the first time in 18 years on TNT.
which is a monumental, holy shit moment.
Yeah, it was a
But
pre-show, but wrestling's wrestling, and it aired
it
on a Saturday primetime slot on
it
TNT.
wasn't it wasn't 6:05, but
Oh, that would have been nice just this one time
that
to
would
give us.
have
Yeah,
wrestling Twitter would have collectively lost its shit. But they opened the show with a 21 man, what they called Casino Battle Royal. The winner of it would receive um, AEW World Championship match against the winner of the main event.
Omega versus Jericho.
Yes. And in
Does
this
anybody
match,
have chat open? Because I just got a text that Morris is trying to talk to us. I can't open chat on mobile,
I've got it
and I don't know
open.
if I, I don't know if he's chatting or if he's leaving comments on the thing itself. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off, Matt. Just got that
that's
text.
fine.
Or Rice.
That's fine. But it seemed like the point of this match was, and I know the obligatories come on. This match had one goal, in my opinion: introduce talent and position MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, as their next big star. Mox, do you have anything to say about Maxwell Jacob Freeman?
I know my thing is to always obligatory fuck MJF. Um, I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag quite yet. The only one that knows, I didn't even tell you, Rice. Brute Squad sent me a message earlier checking on Morris and stuff. Um, it's now it's just out of obligatory reasons that because that was fantastic. I have to give it up. That was that was fantastic.
So they were trying to establish MJF, and all of
Fuck
a
MJF.
sudden, Adam Page hits the ring. The Adam Page we thought was going to be too hurt to compete. He dispatches of MJF, and so Hangman Adam Page won the Casino Battle Royal.
And the crowd went mild.
And the crowd absolutely went mild. That's no disrespect to Adam Page, but
It's what
he is
happened.
so.
It's what happened. My
It,
personal feelings about how boring and bland he is aside, it's what happened. The crowd went mild.
he is absolutely the fifth wheel of the elite. So he has to figure out.
Somebody has to carry the bags. Someone.
Someone's got to carry the bags. Yep.
I mean,
Uh,
Sean Waltman being in the clique, like
yeah, but Sean had a little more to him than well, I won't get into it. Um, Adam Page's winning kind of telegraphed what the main event would be.
the ending of the main event.
Yep.
Yeah,
But fine, perfectly fine battle royal kind of atmosphere. It went 16 minutes.
the only thing about this was, uh, holy shit! It was Kevin Dunn on
Crack.
crack camera work of everybody got their spot. You know, everybody got a spot in. Only about half of them were shown because they'd go to do their spot and the camera would cut to somebody just standing there or somebody in the crowd or
Yep.
oh, the camera work was horrible.
But perfectly fine opener, 16 minutes, and they got the guy who they wanted. They accomplished their goals. Get MJF over as a despicable heel, and get Adam Page in the finish, and that's what they did.
Yeah,
Should I ask briefly, Allie, Mox, and Matt, who here watched Double or Nothing?
I did.
Matt,
Did we lose? Did we put Matt to sleep for the first time?
Well, I didn't watch it.
okay. I'll be honest and say I didn't either. But
No, I did.
Matt, did you see Double or Nothing? Bueller?
Damn, one show and even talking about it already puts co-host to sleep.
We've been putting our co-host to sleep lately, and I'm not proud of it.
Well, usually it's one. I'm not going to name names or anything,
I
but
admit it's me, folks. It is me.
it rhymes with AA.
Oh shit.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, did you watch Double or Nothing this weekend?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Did Rice? I'm assuming you did. AA, Matt, did either one of you check out YouTube clips or anything of the sort, like any viewing whatsoever?
I know what happened. I saw a bit of Dean Ambrose's debut, but other than that, I haven't really seen much.
We're really informed here, folks. And I'll be honest, I only saw a little bit myself, so I'm not throwing anyone under the bus there. The second
If
pre-show
I
match.
want Double or Nothing, I will stick with Kenny Loggins and Rocky Ford. Thank you very much.
Oh dear God.
I
Kenny
know you
Loggins
weren't
reference on the
alive.
show.
No, you weren't alive for Rocky Four.
No, I was not.
Oh, I was talking to Matt, but yeah, you either. AA and
The
I, on the
sec-
other hand,
you guys saw it in theaters.
you
Uh,
go screw yourself, sir. We didn't have
was it in
theaters
black and
back
white?
then. You son of a bitch. We didn't have theaters back then,
Did they have to shuck the corn before making the popcorn?
sir. You should have seen the poor ladies churning the butter to put on popcorn.
If he
That was.
dies, he
He
dies.
dies.
Thank you, Dolph.
I cannot be
No, not
defeated.
Ziggler.
I fight for me. Me.
An actual interesting Dolph.
No kidding. Um, the second pre-show match was Kip Sabian versus Sammy Guevara.
Yes,
All I will say about this match is Sabian won.
this was such a what? Okay,
Wasn't bad, wasn't good.
yeah, it was just so yeah, it happened kind of things.
Yeah.
Now
Um,
my feed did screw up a lot. So and I
um, yeah.
go ahead, go ahead. Sorry,
No, you were. I really wasn't going to say anything.
I was just if you're gonna start asking like questions like details, um, I won't be ordering that again. Um,
You don't want
I,
another Sabian Guevara.
no, just it messed up way too much to.
Yeah, let's also. I do want to briefly. Um, you guys, AEW will eventually pay for trying to run their shows through Bleacher Report Live
Yeah,
because that shit can't handle what they need.
the platform, the servers, and I know I don't have the best internet in the world, but just the previous week I watched Money in the Bank with no glitch, like no, I think it loaded once or twice or refreshed once or twice. So
So we'll get to the actual show now. And the first match on the actual main card was the six-man tag match between SoCal Uncensored, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky, and the team known as Strong Hearts, Sema, T Hawk, and L Lindemann. Now, for those of you who go, who?
who
These are
who
three of the wrestlers who who
who
uh,
who
Who?
who?
who have come from the promotion, the Chinese promotion that AEW partnered with.
Yes.
And
And that
before
name escapes me off the top of my head for some reason. Medicine.
OWE.
OWE. Yeah. Oh, like you owe us money, bitch. Our wrestlers work
Yeah,
for you.
like Mox, you're being audited, you owe money. Um
You. I knew it was coming. Too many.
uh
Too many digs.
huh. Um
The only person in this match, because SCU, they. I love Christopher Daniels. I love Kaz. Loved. For they haven't aged like a bit. How the hell is Christopher Daniels still doing stuff to that degree? T Hawk, I absolutely love T Hawk. Like I something about him just does it for me. The match itself was,
Giggity.
sir. Did you say giggity?
Yes, I did.
Damn it. The match itself was a weird. I guess it's for your first actually branded pay per view. You know, because we're not counting all in. Um, Weird opening to have that be your opener because it just
Yes, I would have thought first of all they would want to open with something a little more different. Try to show people why they're. If anything, I would have had them open with the Joshis
yeah, that would have been
to show why they are different.
yeah.
That
I'm
said,
without getting too farther into the card. The first about halfish of this show was pretty meh.
not first what hour and a half of the show wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, it
Um,
was it.
um,
It's like I'm watching WWE main event without WWE talent,
right.
like people filling in. It was just very meh.
Um, the weird thing here, if I was booking this, the Strong Hearts would have gone over because
Yeah,
you're trying to establish something, and you want to be able to do that as soon as you can to show not only you're serious about the partnership you've made, but to get these guys familiar with the people on the your new audience.
right.
That
Yes.
said, SoCal Uncensored went over.
For why? Aren't they supposed to be like the not? And this kind of is a recurring thing throughout the night. Like, okay, this is kind of WWE booking. Yeah, I said it.
It is. Daniels, Kazarian, and Sky are all made men. All made men. They don't need a victory here. I understand you want to
And a
take them
nothing match.
seriously,
Yeah.
but the people who are watching your show, I'm going to pretty much guarantee know who Daniels and Kazarian and Sky are. They
Right.
just do.
I would
So
have
they didn't need
opened
it.
to go back on you saying you would have opened with the Joshi tag match. I would have opened with the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks.
That was also another call I would have made because that kind of really picked up the show. Although it didn't need it at that point, but they brought it into another gear.
And that's what you want for your opening show. Like, holy shit,
Hell,
this is something different. Even though I told Brute Squad, like to me, it was decent. It was an okay match. The Bucks are gonna do Buck things. Um, I was expecting a little more, but why not open it with two of the founders and two of the biggest signings and have
hmm
a fun little opening match to okay, this is what we're paying $50 for.
hmm you're right. I agree. We'll go on to the next match because this is where the first big surprise of the evening took place. It was originally scheduled to be a triple threat match between the three of the bigger female signings by AEW. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Kylie Ray, and Nyla Rose. Well, the CBO, Brandy Rhodes, comes out, cuts a promo, and introduces her newest acquisition, so to speak. And out of the tunnel, like you used to see. Remember when TNA had the old the circle tunnels, and you
Yes,
could watch them come out from behind.
yes,
That's what this reminded me of.
yes. That's it was very TNA esque.
And out comes Awesome Kong. The place went apeshit.
And the pop she got blew me away because they did later we're gonna hear a louder pop, but holy shit, they went crazy for that.
Um, so it turned into a fatal four. Brandy Rhodes being in Awesome Kong's corner in the three previously mentioned ladies. Um, for the talent in the ring, I would have thought this would have been better.
Yeah, this fell completely flat for me.
Uh, all three of these ladies, all four of these ladies are talented. Uh,
Absolutely.
Britt Baker is someone I know WWE would have wanted. Awesome Kong worked for WWE, and that ended in a weird way, and I don't want to get into that. But she's absolutely of that caliber. Um, Nyla Rose, up and coming, big, strong girl. And for those who are going to ask, yes, Nyla Rose is a transgender wrestler.
Which made history, by the way.
First openly transgender wrestler to compete for a televised wrestling promotion. If
Which
anybody makes
good
a joke, I will
good on
strangle
them
them.
for that. Yeah, good on them for that.
Yeah, that's a big deal. For inclusion, and that's another step forward. Hopefully, one of many. But this match fell flat, as Mock said. Some good spots, but mostly just if I had to say there was a filler match on this card, I would probably pick this one and maybe one other for absolute filler, even with the Kong surprise.
Yeah, this
Um,
is yeah, I don't know what else to describe it as.
um, that said,
Then we if we're done with that, then we get to two people that AA definitely knows from Lucha
well,
Underground days.
well, Dr. Britt Baker wins the
Oh,
Fatal Four Way,
yeah, sorry.
which I think is a good call. Um, Maybe you want to have the babyface and Kylie Ray go over, but I see why they didn't.
Yeah, I
Um,
wanted Kylie to win, but I get why Britt won.
Doctor,
and like you said,
doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case
Bad case
of
of
loving
losing
you.
this match.
um, the next match was a tag team match between the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, and Angelico and Jack Evans.
Hey, hey,
I
did your ears
hear,
just perk up a little? Yep. Did your ears perk up a little bit?
especially with Angelico.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I knew it would.
Hey, Mox, New Japan just posted a little bit of news about Dallas.
Oh, what?
Would you like to see Tomohiro Ishii and Jeff Cobb?
Uh, uh,
Yeah, he
yes,
would.
yes.
Well, I think you're going to get Tomohiro Ishii versus Jeff Cobb.
I'd say wear my pants, but I'm wearing shorts.
So wear your shorts.
Yeah. Where- It's hot enough anyway. I should just be completely naked.
Well,
Whole,
they haven't announced it. They're saying that they are both going to be there. But if it's me, that's who I'm putting against each other.
oh yes, I mean you. Yes, you do that.
Oh,
You.
and the goat's
Yeah.
going to be there, and Jushin Thunder Liger
Yes, that was already hinted at, or even actually announced.
announced. Yes, but I just saw that. I just thought you should know. Um,
If I get holy shit. For those that don't know, I mention them all the time, so you do know. Ishii. Oh, I'm like bowing down like you guys can see me. I love Ishii.
yeah,
Love
he's
Ishii.
so good. He's so good. All right, we're gonna get sidetracked. So the best friends and Angelico and Jack Evans. Um, shut up, Todd.
I was I was waiting for you to break.
Um,
I don't like the end result of this. The match was yeah, perfectly serviceable. Well, think of who's in it. I'm not a big best friends fan. Like, haven't been. A, and Chuck T. every once in a while gets a reaction out of me, but Beretta just does nothing for me.
Beretta, I'm sorry, Beretta's better with Rapongi 3K,
Absolutely.
Rapongi Vice. The best friends, they're fine. They're a perfectly fine tag team, but I don't know if they're like a big main event tag team. I wouldn't say that.
I would have had Go and Jack Evans go over. I know why they didn't, but I would have
Right.
had them go over. I'm
Now
also
we
one of
get
the ones a few years ago that started the Jack Evans for President hashtag that kept going for a couple of weeks. I started that like during season 2 of Lucha Underground, I think.
uh
Sorry.
no, you're fine. The
Oh,
next
thank you, sir.
man, well, someone had to be honest. This is where the show picked up after this match because the next match was the 6-woman tag Joshi introduction for those who might need it. This match, the two teams were Hikaru Shida, Reno Abe, and Rio Mizunami
I'm waiting.
against.
Say
Yeah,
the first one last.
I know.
Okay.
Versus Yuka Sakakazi, Imi Sakura, and the Living Legend. One of the baddest motherfuckers that walk planet Earth.
And he's not being
Godzilla is afraid of her.
I do not sense any hyperbole like at all. And I'm
Aja
being
Kong.
shoot. Holy shit, Archer Kong.
This woman has been doing this for over 30 years. One of the best female professional wrestlers in the world, period. One of the best professional wrestlers in the world, male or female.
Absolutely. Well, but she definitely um when you get into conversations where you put a plural on it of goats, Aja Kong is has to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, Toyota is on that conversation. Aja
Yep.
Kong has to be in the conversation.
Princess Asuka, not Asuka, Princess Asuka. Just that list goes on of Joshi legends, wrestling legends. Bull Nakano. I mean, I could
Yeah,
go on and
Bunakano, obviously.
on. And these 6 ladies decided they were going to just go out there and kill it.
Yeah, that it's the old WWE trope of we're gonna steal the show. Oh, they did up until this point. The match after this stole the show, but
Yeah.
this is my second favorite match of the night.
Uh, a lot of people are coming away impressed from this match with Hikaru Shida.
So
Uh,
because she's pretty, or did
she's good,
I was making a
and
reference to?
I know. Um, yes, she is very attractive, but that's another conversation not meant for this podcast. Um,
I'm gonna real quick. Um, I just opened a browser and I'm gonna give you. Do I dare? Well, 3 people wrote the article. Um, this on CBS Sports. Give you the grades real quick of the matches we've talked so far.
yes, I
Uh,
have the grades up here too. On thought I did.
they
Do I?
gave the Battle Royal B minus. They gave the Kip Sabian Sammy match a C plus. Um, SCU, Strong Hearts, C plus. Britt Baker, Kylie Ray, Nyla Rose, and Awesome Kong. They gave a B plus. Best Friends and Helico and Jack Evans B plus. And this is where what the fuck? They gave this match a D plus.
This is the match where I think everything picked up. So them giving them a D means that they didn't understand what we were
Yeah,
seeing.
that they. I'm not going to name their names, but they're and this is notorious. The some of the CBS articles I've read on about wrestling. They're WWE, maybe a little New Japan here and there, but they didn't. And I'm not trying to say they're bad fans or anything, or they're not true fans. I don't think they got the gist of what was there in front of them. Whoever wrote that grade, I don't know if it was a consensus thing out of amongst the three of them, or but that was a lot better than D plus, in my opinion, and it's all
Mhm.
opinion.
Um, go find this match because
Oh,
this.
oh, and this is. I'm just going to read you what they say real quick about. While
Okay.
there were certainly a handful of fun spots to pop the crowd and produce an adoring an adoring this is wrestling chant. Come on, you're better. You're CBS. You're better writers than that. It's
Are they?
difficult to look past how much this one wore out its welcome. The breakneck pace was fun, but the near falls were too many in parentheses, and the action routinely sloppy. To make matters worse, a botch near the end saw the timekeeper ring the ball when I think they mean ring the
Bell.
bell,
Yeah.
and music queued up despite the referee holding up two fingers on a near fall. Which, yeah, that was,
That
I
was
get that
bad.
part, but that doesn't ruin everything else.
Just hearing that makes me wonder if they've ever seen a Joshi match.
And that's what I was trying to allude to a minute ago. Like they didn't know what was
Sloppiness
that.
is.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's probably six wrestlers that they've never heard of, seen,
Mm-hmm.
knew nothing about, even with
Oh, Chicago,
an
yes.
icon. Yeah, even with her, they probably. But you do you, boo boo. Give it a D plus.
Yep.
I damn sure won't.
Uh, this next match
This was match of
stole
the
the
night for
show.
me. Yeah, the ladies tried, and they did up until that point, and then this match happened.
Cody with Brandy Rhodes, his wife, goes one on one with his brother, the natural Dustin Rhodes. And before this match started, we get to another one of the points in the evening where I'm going to go, what the hell are you doing? Cody Rhodes takes a sledgehammer, which is no accident, and goes up to a stone throne with
Resemblance
Triple
of true.
H's
Yeah.
emblem as the back of the chair, of the throne. He proceeds to swing the hammer and crack the throne. Pyro goes off, and makes it look like he destroyed it when just a little piece fell off and a big crack.
Yeah,
But
that was.
um, this is what Matt was alluding to earlier. This wasn't necessary.
It really wasn't.
This wasn't. And then the after show tweet of it had nothing to do with Triple H. You're full of shit.
BS.
You're full of shit.
Cody took it
Who
per-
else dresses like Shao Kahn?
yeah. Cody took it. Let's be honest about Cody for a minute. He's a little petty asshole.
Well, yeah.
He's pissed. He got fired the way he was. He requested his release, but he was pissed that he didn't get what he wanted, which was a matchup with his brother.
Yeah.
And he's
Even though he
That
did get it at Fastlane.
He
that
wanted a
the dropped the Stardust gimmick, and he wanted to um, be his dad creatively backstage with where Dusty, would call some shots from time to time, and especially in NXT, and he
what
wanted to.
what was the quote he used? You can't let your best actors take minor roles. We're kind of seeing what Cody thinks of himself.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that. You should have an ego. But don't have an ego in positions where it is misplaced. Because that's what gets you in trouble.
Before we move on to the actual what happened in the match, because my God, um, AA Matt, since you guys didn't watch, but you've seen results. I don't know if AA, if you've even read the results, if you're just hearing it for the first time now. Just us talking about it. Any thoughts on? I know we're both boring voices and stuff, and we bring no excitement to anything, but
Fair assessment, fair assessment.
just like Awesome Kong showing up, Aisha Kong showing up. Any thoughts on the people there and the winners and losers so far? I think we put AA to sleep.
No, you didn't. I'm trying to think of a
Oh,
creative answer.
Woohoo! She's awake.
just us talking about it, even with us being boring talking. Um, have is it something you're saying? Hey, I might want to check this out yet.
I still want to check it out.
I meant this particular show.
Oh, this particular show, from the sounds of it, I still should check it out
Okay,
and go into watching AEW and everything with an open mind and not
okay,
try not to look at it jaded.
okay. Fair enough.
Jaded.
Without singing and cutting a promo, Matt, well, you already read the results. Reading the results, did that make you want to go even through nefarious ways to find this and try to watch it?
I mean, there are some matches on the show that do kind of pique my interest, like the women's match and even Goldust and Stardust, and
Which one, the Joshi match or the Britt Baker?
both.
Both of them. Okay, fair enough. I
Like,
just
there are some matches that kind of interest me. Just the whole AEW kind of bashing W and stuff like that. It has kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
right.
With
Okay.
that said, when they do their little show on TNT, I think I would check it
Why do you
out.
have to?
Just to
Their
see what
little
it's like.
show. Their little show on TNT. There'll be it'll be oh shit, is somebody help me, who did TNA broadcasting that used to be on the Home Shopping Network selling baseball cards?
Don
Don,
West?
yes, Don West. It's just gonna be Don West for 2 hours selling T-shirts. Rice, you said you didn't watch it either. um
There's
just to the point we are now, would you tune in or try, or if they offered it? I don't know if they actually are offering it to as a rewatch. Or would you be tuning in to see just what we've
there's
talked about so
some
far?
there's some things here I would like to see. I do want to see what Kylie Ray's about, and
You've never seen Kylie Ray?
I have never seen Kylie Ray. I've never seen Britt Baker.
Holy shit!
So
Are you
I
living under a rock?
no. So those are things I want to see. Girls, I mean, I want to see them. I want to see the Joshi girls because Joshi wrestling. You do. If you ever get a chance to see it, watch it because it is so unlike what women's wrestling we get here in the states.
Do you want to explain to our friends what Joshi means and it's what it's about?
Joshi
Quickly,
wrestling,
quickly.
shit. Um, Joshi wrestling is basically Japanese women's wrestling.
Yes.
The reason why they that has its own name is because they. It, shut up,
You
Todd.
watch your mouth, Todd. Sorry.
Joshi, it just basically means women, first of all,
Yes.
and there's no special meaning there. And the difference between what they do and what we see here in the states is they definitely take a more athletic.
And stiff.
Oh, you guys here, everyone pretty much, if you're a wrestling fan, if you've been a wrestling fan any length of time, you know what strong style is.
Yes. I said stiff, but
Joshi
strong style.
Joshi wrestlers use strong style for the most part.
And we're going back for people, since I'm sure so far we've said a lot of names that people don't know, because usually we cover a lot of WWE, um, and not just in name, but former, I guess not former, but Joshi wrestlers include the likes of Kana, who's now known as Asuka, Io Shirai,
Shirai.
um, Shirai. Did I say Shirai? I'm
Yes,
trying
you
to go
did.
fast because I asked you to go fast. Um, Kyrie Sane is more on a
She's more
name
it,
alone. She,
initially when Joshi Pro Wrestling, which was an actual company at one time,
yes,
split it off from Japan All Pro Wrestling, uh, well, Japan Women's Pro Wrestling, the JWP, and they when they split, they had two camps: the shooters and the entertainers. Kairi Sane would fall into it. Kairi Hojo, as she used to be known, would fall into the entertainer's side, but she still
yes.
would whip your ass.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Uh,
wow. I was trying to speed things up just a little bit, but Kyrie Sane, for example, Japanese wrestler, technically falls under the name of Joshi, but she really wasn't strong style Joshi like Kano, aka Asuka, or even Io Shirai.
sorry. So they come in. They really do. There's more aerial stuff involved in their work. There's a lot more ground stuff in their work. Aja Kong just comes in and beats the piss out of you for 10 minutes.
Which is always fun.
Always
Excuse me,
fun.
always fun to watch.
So that's what they do. They just come in, they hit harder, they do some different stuff, and it's real fun to watch. Because sometimes they also bring in over the top characterization to it. They're
Yes,
sometimes very bright, what I would call stereotypically Japanese, with the neon colors and the presentation, those kind of things.
absolutely.
But I want to get
It's part of the culture.
yes,
It's we can move on, but yeah, that's part of the Japanese culture. That's I know you said the word stereotypical, but we're not
yes,
stereotyping. That's part of the culture, and that's what they would do and still do actually.
yes. Um, but back to Dustin and Cody, and this little scene here with this throne and everything is something that kind of does turn me off a little bit, because coupled with comments Cody later made after the show saying he wonders if he's crossed the bridge he'll never be able to cross again. And it's that kind of comment that makes me go, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Either you're at war or you're not.
yeah. You can't be a do the first shots over the bow and then um um
Complain that you fired the shot.
pussy track back.
Yeah, and that bridge was not burnt at all because Ultimate Warrior came back, Bruno Sammartino came back, Bret Hart came back,
Which is
Oh
interesting
Hulk
yeah,
Hogan
considering.
came
we'll
back.
get to him later.
Like, no bridge is ever truly burnt in WWE. If Vince McMahon thinks he can do business with you and do good business at that, no bridge is ever truly burnt.
I'm not gonna
But
give this jackass a, a credit to mention his name, but well, he's not a jackass. He's just way off on this one. He's actually a friend of the show, um, but I'm still not going to name his name. Actually, thinks
Oh,
AEW and WWE are in bed together as far as
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're
He
okay.
talking
he's a friend of this show. He's no friend of mine. Fuck that has been. No, I'm sorry. Fuck that never was. Dumbass Mark motherfucker.
Wait, that was like, how high are you?
Yeah, that was stupid. Um,
And I'll try being nice. Not just because he's a friend of the show, but he's a friend to AA, and I don't just want to completely throw him under the bus.
I do.
Well,
Um, uh, but like
yeah,
you
but
said, Matt basically hit the nail on the head. There's no bridge that's ever totally burnt to WWE. But that said, if you're going to,
well, there's this certain Canadian.
well, that's different, and you know it's different.
Because that's every big bridge burned. Sorry,
Um, but
and
if you're
I just
Cody,
made light of something that's not light, and I
right?
apologize.
That's we know what you meant. It's fine. But let me say here for Cody, if you're going to keep firing shots,
Man
light the
up,
match, man up, light the match, and burn the motherfucker to the ground. It's that simple. If you're
or
going to do it, do it.
yeah, it's like you load the cannonball into the cannon, but then you're too chicken shit to actually light the fuse.
It's lighting the fuse and then complaining about the collateral damage. Motherfucker,
Well,
you
yeah,
shot the cannonball. You knew there might be collateral damage. Don't bitch when the house falls down.
yeah, but moving on to the
But
match itself.
the match itself here, when before
Hey,
they
I
even
will
lock up,
find and send you a link to this match. You will love this match. I know it's Cody Rhodes and it's Dustin. You will. I think you will find this match fantastic. Anyway,
Okie dokie.
before the match starts, um, Dustin points to the sky, and like if on cue, the whole audience starts chanting "Dusty."
yes.
And I'll be damned if it didn't get a little dusty in the room.
I tell you what, dude. It got there was some pollen in the air. Somebody was cooking onions. I don't know, cutting onions. What something happened. Yeah,
Because that with that mm,
they could have left
that
it right there.
they could
Just
have
that.
walked out of the
Yep.
ring, and I
Just
think everyone
hugged
would have
and
been
let.
fine.
Yeah, that could have. But no, they didn't. They decided to put on match of the night. And yes, we are talking about my Mister Meh Cody Rhodes.
In 40, good God, how old is Dustin?
46,
Closer to
43,
closer to 50 than 40.
right in there. Yeah.
Um, they decided they're going to have a Crockett match. Dustin's 50. Dustin just
Okay.
turned
Okay.
50. And they decided they were going to have a Crockett match.
And a Muda match at the same time.
Yeah. Um,
And for those that don't know what a Muda match is, there's an actual scale called the Muda scale.
and Dustin
Going
was on it.
and going. Oh, I haven't seen
Well,
anybody get.
since you say that, if the match was advertised and it didn't happen, would it have been a crock?
Oh, what
Oh,
the?
oh, oh! I think that just killed a kidney.
I thought you were gonna say kid. I think that just killed a kid, which also might be true. Sir,
Um,
Becky. Uh,
Becky might be ashamed.
yeah, and this has been going on for a couple of weeks.
I think we need to have an intervention. Um, these guys decided to work with what they had, and there was definitely smoke and mirrors here.
Oh, absolutely.
Dustin,
What?
Dustin, what are you
You got me
doing?
fucking mirrors.
He
Uh,
the blade job Dustin Rhodes did,
he went way too deep. That's what
cause
she
it
said. Shut up, Matt.
uh,
uh, get that out of the way. He obviously
uh
bladed, and he
yeah
obviously bladed too deep.
Cody got color too, but these guys decided they were going to go out and beat the hell out of each other, cause it's what their father would have wanted.
Dusty would have been proud.
Dusty was proud. There's no would have here.
Well,
Dusty was
he's
proud.
not here, but
Yeah,
so
I know.
but you know what I meant.
I do.
Because let's not kid ourselves. Dusty was a blader too. Like
Dust, Dusty bled with the best of them, and this was a but
this was a
it got a
tribute.
little queasy.
This was a tribute to their
Their
dad.
father
Yeah,
to the wrestling they grew up on. Uh,
to what they couldn't do
in
in
WWE
WWE. Yeah, it was a whole culmination it,
of yeah.
and they just put it all out there. Yeah, and I've seen some people, how queasy. I've watched enough CCW and violent wrestling. Yeah, I can get where there was so much blood that it would turn some people off. And it kind of got to that point, but I was just enjoying the match and the whole everything we brought up about Dusty and now Dustin and Cody and um, that overshadowed a lot of that's a bit too much blood.
Yeah, it was a little bit, just a little bit. But Cody
You see
wins.
why I'm going to send you a link, AA?
Okay.
You like the blood. I swear she's half vampire or something.
No, I'm not. I'm the princess of violence, remember?
Well, yes.
But Cody wins here after a grueling. These guys went 22 minutes.
22 and um to put it in perspective a little bit, the cruiserweight match that actually made it to the main card on Money in the Bank the previous Sunday, and don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing WWE to AEW at all. Just a couple match times. The cruiserweight match on Money in the Bank went 9 minutes and 23 seconds. It felt like forever. This match went 22 minutes. It didn't feel as long, if that
No,
makes sense.
because they told a story. The story here was we are doing this for our father because we
Yeah,
couldn't do it. We wanted to do it. If this match happened in WWE, I don't think Cody leaves.
right. Without the obviously without the blading and stuff, just this
Right?
match without all the blood.
God, that was a lot of blood.
That was a shit ton of blood. That was the most again. I don't know if I actually got through with my thought of for those that don't know, the Muda scale is how much you can bleed in a match.
A
Based on
zero, a zero is no
no
blood,
blood.
and a one,
Dumbass.
a 0.0 because it's not like 1 to 100. It's 0 0.0 to 1. If you have a 1 on the Muda scale, you're dead.
Yeah, and they were points 8. They were. I'm surprised. God, Dustin just wouldn't quit bleeding. I know Cody was bleeding too, but Dustin just spewing, spewing, spewing.
So yeah, but he bled. He gigged himself a little too deep, and but Cody wins.
Of course.
Well, of course, yeah. And afterwards, he cut a promo about his brother. They shared that moment in the ring together.
Couldn't really tell who they were, but
No, no, you didn't know where Dustin's face paint began and his blood ended. Jesus. Um, was it after this match we got the surprise with the belt?
yes, sir.
So
Speaking
after the
of, somebody Matt brought up,
so after the after they clear the ring, got a new mat cover, those kind of things. They announced they're going to reveal the new AEW Championship.
oh, CBS Sports, by the way, gave that match an A plus.
Of course they did because it was. Um, and all of a sudden, music, kind of familiar music hit.
Natalia Neidhart.
No, although happy belated birthday, Daddy. Um, out with a black little bag came out two-time WWE Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart. And once again, the place lost its fucking mind.
This is
The
where MJF is starting during this segment is where okay, they're really trying to make MJF a star going forward in AEW. But go ahead, sorry.
if I'm at this point in the show, if I'm our good friend Metal Matt, I start to worry because it's clear they want MJF and they want MJF all for themselves. And I don't think they're going to have a problem
Swiping,
taking
no
him.
swiping. Swiping, no swiping.
Yeah, swiping, no swiping. I don't think they're going to have many issues trying to take him from Major League Wrestling.
If there was a question before, there's not after Saturday.
No. Which I know Matt is just thrilled about.
Um, but yeah, Brett introduces the AEW Heavyweight Championship. What do you guys think about what it looks like? Those that have seen it.
Derivative.
Yeah.
For those who've seen it, it looks like a carbon, not an exact copy, but you can tell it takes inspiration from the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
It does. It looks like they kind of meshed the old NWA Heavyweight Championship in with the IWGP Heavyweight, and we got this. It's not a bad looking belt, but some people are a lot higher on it than I am.
Yeah, I'm not exactly 100% thrilled with it either. But it is what it is. It's a perfectly fine belt. I wish they would have kind of made a statement with it.
Oh, somebody's snoring. We lost AA.
No, I'm not. I was stretching.
Oh, then we lost Matt again.
Typically, he's playing video games. Um,
Let's get through the rest of this quickly.
yeah, we're not even going to get to WWE at this rate. But the report I do want to mention there was a report that came out after the show that Bret Hart wasn't supposed to be the guy to reveal the title. It was supposed to be Ric Flair. If I know the legends really have no impact on what Vince does on his day to day. But if I'm looking at Brett and Rick being the guys revealing the supposed new competition's belts, I'm starting to ask questions why.
Yeah,
Like, because I know Rick's on a Legends deal, and I think Brett is, although I'm not 100% certain on that.
right. They're on legend contracts.
And
For those that
considering,
don't know, legend contracts are not the same as like part time or anything. It's a
right,
different contract where appearance and stuff, but they can also appear like for All In, Starcast stuff like that.
yeah, um, but that's still kind of make my ears perk up. The next match we got was for, believe it or not, the AAA World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, the champions, going one on one with the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix.
Excuse me. I wanted more out of this match.
Phoenix gave a lot though.
Oh yeah, Phoenix came out of this looking, but Bucks do Buck things.
Super
Uh,
kicks, and you know what a buck match is at this point.
and CBS, surprisingly, to nobody since the rest of the greats, gave this an A. Uh, it was
Could it be
decent.
because CBS is airing the promotion?
Yeah, but uh, I wanted more. It didn't fall flat. It was decent. It was good. I wanted a little bit more out of it.
Kind of expected Pentagon and Phoenix to win. Weirded a little bit that they did, because it's not like the Bucks are working Mexico a lot.
And the theme I keep bringing up, the recurring theme. Have you guys gotten it yet?
You wanted more.
No, 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 no. No. Hangman Page, the Bugs. Excuse me,
Cody.
Cody.
The bosses are kind of winning, aren't they?
Damn authority.
Yeah. Again. But we'll see what happens. The Young Bucks defended the AAA tag titles. Again, that's weird to me. The Bucks aren't working AAA all the time. Oh, so
Yeah, I figured the Bucks would go over because I think AAA wants them to lose them in an actual AAA event.
yeah, which is smart, but still, I think because no one I'm sorry if you saw the reaction to the Bucks winning the AAA tag titles, nobody in Mexico knows who the Bucks are.
Yeah,
They don't. They're not as big as international stars as you think they are, and that's the God's honest truth.
their T-shirts are a hit though.
Yeah, the T-shirts are a hit. So the
I
main event of the night.
Okay, and this is where my recurring theme dies,
Yep. Is the singles match to
which
crown the
makes it
first ever
even worse
AEW World Championship.
to
Chris
to crown
Jericho
the
and Kenny Omega.
to be the participant in the first ever match. This isn't to crown the champion.
Right,
It's to
right.
whoever wins this will face Hangman Page for the inaugural AEW championship at a later date.
Which is probably either All Out or the first televised show. Um, These guys, first of all, you knew it was going to be long because Kenny Omega works by the minute, and he wants paid, so it went long. Not as long as the typical Omega match, but it went a little bit. 27 minutes to be exactly. Chris Jericho doesn't need to be working 30-minute matches.
What? Mm, and getting back to Brute Squad, because he was asking about it. Today he got some free time again to check on Morris and stuff, and he asked if I watched and blah blah blah, and he was kind of started asking match by match, and then I just started like, okay, and then this and this, and I got to this match, and Omega and Jericho is exactly what you would think it would be. Like it's exactly what you think it would be.
It's a little spammy. It's a little old guy trying to not look like an old guy, but damn it, Chris, the wheels are falling off a bit here. Chris debuted his new move, the Judas elbow, which looked shitty.
Yeah, that was.
Are
Uh,
the walls of Jericho not working anymore, Chris?
it kind of reminded like maybe a poke of fun at Cena's Six Moves of Doom, where and it was a punch. Like, what the fuck is that, Chris? Like, that's your new finisher?
It's no, it's no Rainmaker. It's no. I mean, if it looked worse than that god awful Uranagi Becky tried to do to Peyton. Uh,
Oh God.
I'm not putting that all on Becky, people, but God, that was awful.
Wait, what?
We
Yeah,
were see, we got his attention. That Chris debuted a new move in this match called the Judas elbow. It was a back elbow.
Oh yeah,
It looked like shit, and I said it looked worse than that god awful Uranagi Becky tried to use on Peyton.
sir, sir.
sir, that looked like shit. I'm sorry.
Well, you see, the fact of the matter is, Becky Lynch debuted a new finisher, the Uranagi. And I think
I
it's
just
safe to
said that.
say. I think it's safe to say.
Do I hear an echo?
Becky, I
Right?
think it's safe to say that Becky listened to No Mercy 2004 episode of the Ruthless Aggression Era podcast.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say Becky thought she was going to do a tribute to The Rock and completely botched it, but that done done.
Oh
Um,
wow.
uh, Here's the thing with that. But what Becky did is fine. Peyton needs to do a better job of selling and getting
She
up.
did a great job, if you ask me.
Sir,
I would dare say
she
she did.
jumped as high as the Big Show. And the Big Show sold that move better than Peyton. I'm sorry.
Oh
This
boy,
with with Chris did this. It looked like shit, and he
feel
and he
like a
didn't.
brown play.
Much like much like an Icon's promo. We can do this all night.
Speaking of looking like shit, um, Jericho, Chris Jericho. Why? I mean, what's this midlife crisis thing
Yeah,
about of your
yeah.
look?
It's better than the short hair, that's for sure.
I take the short hair over whatever this has
This
been
is
in New Japan and AEW.
I honestly prefer this look. I do not think he worked with short hair at all.
and also, am I the only one noticing that he's developing a beer gut?
No, sir. You're not. Like since a few years now.
Like no, but it's getting to the point where it looks like he's drinking a 6-pack every night.
Sir, I drink. Never mind.
But you're not a world class athlete,
Sir. You don't know me, okay?
sir. We really gonna have this conversation?
This match again. Um, 27 minutes of Omega Jericho. Um, their Wrestle Kingdom 12 no disqualification match was
Was
certainly
better.
better. Yeah.
That match was better because they had smoke and mirrors to hide behind.
Yes, this match being
A
a,
wrestling match
yeah, a standard
was,
match, and they didn't have all the um,
and I give
le-
Omega credit here. He tried to carry Jericho, but Jericho, the wheels are falling off, and
uh,
it's not good. It's just that he. If it was a 15-minute match, I think I'd feel better about this than I do it being a 30-minute match.
let's cut to the chase. Jericho wins
Jericho
and
wins.
earns a shot against Hangman Page for the first ever AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And I can't help but think, especially with news coming out over the weekend of Jericho's supposedly going to have a Brock Lesnar AEW schedule, of why are we,
Why are we allowing this charade to happen?
yeah, like what? I mean, because I just went through this shit with him in New Japan with the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Uh, why am I about to? Not saying they put it on him, but are they going to put it on Page? Are you serious? It's going on Jericho,
It's
and he's going to be the Brock Lesnar of not there every week.
I can't. It's one or two because what's established after Double or Nothing, like we mentioned at the top of the show, John Moxley came in after this match and attacked not
That
only
that's the
Jericho,
highlight. The referee Jericho and Omega.
um, came in and attacked not only Jericho but Omega. Sounds like they're going to go with Moxley versus Omega coming out of this.
Here for it
Definitely here for it. My God, talk about a dream match. Um,
because
this,
now we've got motivated Jonathan Good again.
yes.
Not oh, I'm doing the same shit every. Now we're gonna get motivated John Moxley, and I'm here for prime Kenny Omega versus motivated Dean Ambrose John Moxley. I'm here
Yep.
for it.
Yep. But it definitely sounds like so the next time you guys will get to see AEW, for those who are wondering, is at Labor Day weekend back at the Sears Center, all
Yes,
out. I
they're
don't know
going
what the
back to Chicago.
and which is causing people to do you know what.
AJ Lee, AJ Lee. Um,
Dude, if you don't think that would get a pop,
because I know
um,
where you were going with that. That's where everybody's going with it. So I went the opposite.
that'd still get a pop. Probably as big as a pop as the other thing. Um,
If you think
rem-
Moxley blew the top off the roof off,
shit.
if CM Punk showed up at All Out in Chicago,
There would be ritual sacrifice in the arena.
Stone Cold would have to be like, yeah, even I haven't heard a pop that loud.
Um,
Speaking of which,
Road Warrior pop times 10.
yes, um, Moxley got a huge, and I mean, huge. I brought it up earlier. Excuse me, with the Awesome Kong pop, like might be the second loudest pop of the night, because this was obviously and definitely first. But holy, did that place come unglued? The Mox House came unglued, and kind
Um,
of sad at the same time.
yeah. Like the people in the audience, I mean, there's no better way to say it. And I'm going to be a little crude here, so I apologize to our listeners with sensitive ears. But the audience there in Las Vegas basically just came all over themselves. They couldn't believe it.
Sir, sir,
Um,
you could have just said lost their shit and been perfectly fine.
I had to spice it up a little bit. So like I said, the next time we're going to see these guys potentially in Chicago, Illinois, Labor Day weekend at the Sears Center, where All In happened. All Out is the name of the pay per view, um, and we'll see what happens because All Out will be basically a month away from televised AEW, from everything we
Yep,
understand.
yep.
So that's where everything's going to be set up, I believe, to get ready for
And,
TV.
and surely you go into TV with a champion.
Yes, I would imagine this is where the world title match is going to take place. I'm assuming there's going to be tag champs. I'm
What?
assuming
What?
there's
I just now. Sorry, sorry. Forgive me. But since apparently he's on a Brock contract, watch him win it all out the pay per view before, and then fucking not show up for the premiere episode. You want to talk about
yeah,
absent champion?
yeah, I can see it happening. Um, so
Uh,
basically, and it's midnight my time. So if you guys want to go on without me and talk about WWE, you're more than welcome to. But
I can't
before I
believe
leave,
we spent all this time about AEW.
big news, dude, and so that's how it goes. Um,
Well, don't leave just yet. We'll go ahead and if that's okay with Matt and AA, conclude this episode because I've got to get in and check on my two patients.
That's not
Um,
okay with me.
well, sir,
yeah.
sir, look, nobody asked you.
I'm
Uh,
just joking.
Um, well, I'll ask on air, so that way we don't have to. I guess we, if everybody's available tomorrow, we'll do this backwards and do WWE tomorrow and leave this
yes,
at the non WWE stuff. If you guys are available,
I'm
As of
available.
right now, I am available.
I'm available.
All right.
okay,
So we
okay,
will have a show tomorrow, everybody.
okay.
But before we go, I know Allie and Matt may not be able to give a grade. So Mox, I will leave it to you for a grade. What did you overall? Everything taken into account. What's your letter grade for Double or Nothing?
Um, I don't want to nitpick too much. I would go overall. Because some of the little nitpicks I have, you have to include. It's their first show, like the camera work and shit early on. Some of the commentary was off. Um, a generous C plus B minus, probably B minus. Um, a lot of that gets raised with things like, oh shit, Bret Hart's on AEW, and then really, holy shit, John Moxley. Um, if we take all that stuff out, just the matches, more along C plus. Um, it wasn't the greatest thing that ever happened. It wasn't the greatest thing in wrestling history. Like I told you guys earlier, and like I told Brute, a decent show, good show. It wasn't a transcending show by any means. The Dustin Cody match is A plus 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 all the way
If
for many
you
reasons.
if you grew up watching Crockett, that is home cooking,
Davy Crockett.
sir.
Davy,
Dave
Davy Crockett.
Davy
Crockett,
Crockett,
King
Hey,
of the
king of the
Wild
wild
Frontier.
frontier.
I, I didn't mean to start the whole. I still have my Davy Crockett coonskin cap, by the way. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Um,
It's so old that it's had coonskin cat babies.
Shut up, sir. But yeah, I would go. And I'm not trying to be unfair at all. I'm trying to, but I'm not also not trying to. Um, it was just looking at it as a wrestling show that happened. For one, it was pretty damn long. Um, B minus, C plus. It a passing grade. Some things they need to work on. Some outcomes I didn't like. But it didn't set the world on fire. Like I was gonna watch AEW anyway, but if I wasn't, if I would have to watch this, and I don't think it would have swayed me to now I have to watch it kind of thing. If that makes sense at all.
Hmm.
Like it was a wrestling pay per view with a few exceptions of again the Dusty Cody match, John Moxley, Mox. Um, it passing grade. It didn't make me not want to watch, you know, All Out or their weekly shows. It didn't turn me off of okay, never mind. I'm not going to tune into this. Passing grade. I just there's some hyperbole out there of how great it was, and I'm sorry. And in my opinion, it wasn't.
Things to build upon,
It was a decent pay
things
per
to
view.
improve upon.
Yes, if they can
Um,
get those things right, and if we can get uh, some of the I'll just go ahead and say it. Again, the recurring theme. Um, Everyone in the elite except for Mega went over, and then with the Omega loss, it's to Chris Jericho.
and the Omega loss gets covered up a little bit by the Moxley debut.
Yeah, like
So
it's
it wasn't
the
like
main
Mox,
event. Yeah, the main event of AEW wasn't even really
the main event.
the yeah the main event of AEW was artist formerly known as Dean Ambrose, John Moxley showing up. That was the main event.
Um, so Omega definitely got protected in the end
Absolutely, yeah.
because you're
Even in
not talking
even in a
about,
loss, yeah,
yeah, Omega. You're not talking about Omega losing. You're talking about Moxley debuting.
yes.
So
Even in a loss, it's all which we kind of knew this was going to happen going in. I just didn't think it. Hangman winning the battle royal like really, um,
set the tone for what was coming.
yeah, exactly. Like that.
Um, the bosses should have known that one of the bosses should have lost, and they did. Omega lost, but Omega was so protected that it almost doesn't matter.
Another AEW thing, real quick. I just had to open the phone to send wife a text. Apparently, Vince is furious that AEW got brought up on Monday Night Raw last night. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
If
But
that's true, I don't know if that's true. I've seen contradictory reports.
yeah,
Some
I've
people,
seen I've
um,
seen both, but and I couldn't tell you who this was. And now that I've closed my phone, it's not gonna. I couldn't tell you what report this was, but because it won't let me get back there. But
But
uh,
Vince is someone who notoriously doesn't watch his competition. Doesn't know his competition. So I doubt AEW was even on Vince's radar, despite them having a team meeting as recently as a couple weeks ago, bringing up AEW.
well,
It's
the big to
definitely
do was did Sammy go off script or was it scripted? Was the big enders. Um, Three, four reporters saying one, three reporters saying the other. Excuse me, but this was the first that I saw a headline of, and it might just be for clicks, but
yeah.
apparently it
Um,
said Vince is furious that AEW was mentioned on Monday Night Raw.
Vince is furious that his body did something that he didn't want it to. So it is what it is. Um, we'll get all into that tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, we will give our goodbyes. So, Miss Allie, would you please take us home?
Well, everybody, it says I'm actually awake during all of this. Where can they find you,
I
Mox?
can't believe it. I can't. You stayed awake during. Oh, Hey,
I'm
this
so
is kind of.
touched.
I'm actually gonna bump the Double or Nothing up to a B plus because when we talk about WWE, she falls asleep. We talked about
Yeah.
AEW for almost 3 hours or 2 hours something, and she didn't fall asleep. So I'm gonna bump it up to a B plus just because she stayed awake. They can find me at Fireman6809 on Twitter.
And what about you, Metal Matt?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Melman15 or just on occasional 6 in the daily and the nightly. And this Friday, live, none other than Angel will be joining me as we talk about Taboo Tuesday 2004 and SmackDown versus Raw.
What SmackDown versus Raw?
The very first one.
Okay, okay.
And you guys can find me at
Nobody cares.
PWFans01. You can bite me, asshole. Um, and at
That's a
KHIC,
long ass Twitter handle.
and at KHIC, son of a bitch. Almost got there. You guys can also find me at KHIC Seats in the daily and in the nightly. And yeah,
Hey, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Lady Rashana, or you can find me on Twitch at Violent Wrestling Podcast. No G.
Oh, I always forget my Twitch. On Twitch, I'm at Mox underscore VWP.
and just as a reminder for those of you who are still with us, we will have a show tomorrow.
Yes.
However, next week, due to personal circumstances of the
Cast.
panel of the cast of the panel here at Violent Wrestling Podcast, we will not be having a show Tuesday or Wednesday. So please set your schedules accordingly. We're sorry that this is happening, but life takes over every once in a while. We have obligations in real life that take precedence. So thank you for your understanding, and please join us tomorrow. Allie, sign us off.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, nurse.
Please slip me the drugs.